Part 9. I was a village chief in a primitive society. Author, Big White Monster. Chapter 81. Chapter 81, Sneak Attack. 3 more please customize. Ji li buletin li. Gwagwagwa. Various strange sounds of birds and the chirping of insects and frogs could be heard all the time, and a bright moon hung in the sky at some point. The entire forest was slowly shrouded in darkness, and the overall look was completely different from the daytime look. It's so dark now, so hurry up and light a fire, otherwise you won't know how to face the danger, Yan Jiao shouted loudly. Yes, Chief Heya and others responded in unison. They had walked for a day, and they had just decided where to sleep tonight. Subai frowned, glanced around and said, "Go faster, the light of the fire can scare away a lot of people." Beast. Yes, which Maimang also went to help immediately. Crackling. A few minutes later, a bonfire surrounded by brave stones was lit, and Black Fang continued to throw branches into it. Degua and Waming kept staring at the dried meat, fearing that something would go wrong. Ahwa, take some dried meat and bake it. After dinner tonight, go to bed early and start early tomorrow, Subai ordered. Yes, Yanhua nodded. She took out several pieces of dried meat from 2 large bags, stuck it on a sharpened branch, and started roasting it next to the campfire. You guys have some rest tonight. Maimang and I are the first ones to keep vigil. Heya took the lead and said. Yan Jiao blinked his red eyes and said, Heya is right, we will guard the first half of the night, and wait until you have rested enough for Melon and Frog in the second half of the night. Yes, thank you, Chief. The big melon and the frog croaked in unison. Father, what about me? I will also keep vigil. Yanhua felt like she was being ignored. Just follow the shaman closely with me, and you are not allowed to go anywhere else, Yan Jiao said seriously. In fact, he is also very worried about his daughter. This place is not as good as the tribe. There are many people here, and she can also be asked to patrol and watch at night. The wild is more dangerous than anywhere else, but he still doesn't want anything to happen to Yanhua. Yes, just follow the witch tonight and leave the vigil to us, Heya agreed. But I also want to help. Yanhua said repeatedly. Being by Wu's side is the greatest help. If Xiao Yu is not around, Wu still needs someone to look after him, Yan Jiao said seriously. Just as Yanhua was about to say something, he was interrupted by Subai. Just stay with me. Maybe I have something you can help with. Yes, I will definitely protect Wu's safety. Yanhua slowly lowered her head. Add some salt to the dried meat, then flip it over to prevent it from burning, Subai reminded. Yeah, I almost forgot. Yanhua quickly reached out and turned the dried meat. She sprinkled some salt on it. Subai helplessly held his forehead, shook his head and said, Isn't there some green sour fruit? I added some more, by the way, but I forgot about it not long after I started teaching. Yanhua clumsily took out 2 fruits from the animal skin bag, cut them with a stone knife and squeezed them on top of the dried meat. Black Teeth and Maimang, go take a look around and make sure there are no wild beasts, ferocious beasts, or other people. We will leave some dried meat for you, Subai ordered. Yes, Heya and the others immediately responded. They turned around and left the bonfire, each holding a fire stick. Yanhua picked up 2 skewers of dried meat, handed it over and said, This is roasted dried meat. You can try it. Test the taste. Subai took the dried meat, rubbed the remaining dried meat under his chin, and said, You guys should hurry up and eat too. Yes, Yan Jiao and the others had already swallowed their saliva. After getting permission, they picked up the dried meat and started to feast on it. Rustling. Subai frowned slightly and stopped eating. The expression on his face was extremely serious, and his black eyes kept turning left and right. Wu, what's wrong with you? Yanhua was the first to notice something was wrong with the other party. Yan Jiao immediately understood what was going on and stood up immediately with a very solemn expression. Sit down first and don't startle the snake, Subai said softly. Yan Jiao slowly squatted down and asked in a low voice, is someone spying on us? Well, there were quite a few people, 7 in total, Subai said based on his perception. Yan Hua kept turning his head left and right, trying to find some traces of the other party from the surroundings, and asked curiously, why don't I feel anything? I didn't even feel it, let alone you. Yan Jiao said seriously. He had not yet realized that he was an intermediate totem warrior, let alone Yan Hua, who was not a totem warrior. De Gua and Wang were very nervous and immediately stood up and came to Subai's side. Subai put down the wooden stick in his hand and said seriously, it seems that the other party is here for us dried meat. I'll go and find them. Don't try to take these dried meats away from me. Yan Jiao said angrily. The people in the tribe are still waiting for this batch of dried meat. The dried meat they work so hard to make in exchange for linen cloth will not be given away to others. Yes, we are not afraid of them, De Gua and Waming agreed. Subai raised his hand and pressed it, and said seriously, don't worry, wait until He Ya and Mai Mang come back. It seems like they want to make a sneak attack. We can make preparations first and don't let them find out. Wait until they rush out and then catch the other party off guard. If it had been different before, he might not have planned this, and would have just told everyone to leave quickly, but Yan Jiao is already an intermediate totem warrior. Moreover, there are 5 totem warriors on their side and 7 on the other side, so it may not be possible in a real fight. Lose. Based on what he has learned in the past few days, not all totem warriors are of the same mind, and many bully the weak and fear the strong, so this time the scale of victory has slowly tipped to his side. Yes, which? Yan Jiao nodded and said. You must suppress your temper and pretend nothing happened. Only when everyone is here can we feel confident, Subai warned again and again. Yan Jiao lowered his eyebrows, with a look of confusion on his face. He didn't know why he had to take so much care. He just thought it would be better to rush up and beat them up, but he still nodded. You must be patient and do whatever I say. Subai was really afraid that they would be impulsive and had to warn them repeatedly. Yes, I remember, Yan Jiao nodded awkwardly. 20 minutes later, He Ya and Mai Mang also came back. Their expressions didn't look right. We found that someone was peeking at us again, and we could always hear strange noises not far away. When we walked over, we found that they were not beasts, but instead there were human footprints, He Ya said seriously. We already know that. Yan Jiao said. Mai Mang's face changed slightly and he said in surprise, what, didn't we just come back? How did you know? Third update, please support and customize. I was a village chief in a primitive society. Author, Big White Monster. Chapter 82. Chapter 82, Run. One more please customize. Yan Jiao glanced around vigilantly, lowered his voice and said, the witch has sensed it in advance. Yes, there are 7 people in total who have been spying on us. De Gua nodded repeatedly. He Ya looked serious and asked worriedly, what should we do now? Should we rush out and catch them now? Subai raised his hand and pressed it, signaling rush out and they will run away. What we want is to catch them off guard. After hearing the plan, He Ya nodded repeatedly and said seriously, woo woo, I will never let anything happen to you. Yan Jiao punched He Ya on the head and reprimanded, keep your voice down, why don't you speak louder? Yes, Chief. He Ya covered his head and responded. Mai Mang, Waming, and others were also very vigilant and guarded Subai. Subai blinked his black eyes, gestured to the barbecue next to the fire, and said, He Ya, Mai Mang, you two should eat something first. How can you not replenish your strength? Mai Mang swallowed his saliva, shook his head and said, wait until they are beaten away before eating. Yes, Wu, no one knows whether they will suddenly rush out at this time. He Ya is also very vigilant. Eat first. We are still some distance away. Even if we rush out, It will take time. During this time, you should eat something quickly. Subai somewhat appreciated their vigilance. Yes, Heya and Mai Mang have been wanting to eat for a long time. After knowing that it was safe for the time being, they started to feast. Yan Xiao, De Gua, and Hua Ming were always on guard. The three of them were facing different directions, their eyes straight, staring into the distance. Wu, just stay where you are and don't move. Yanhua has become different from before. Her expression is very serious. Crackling. The burning branches in the fire kept making sounds, which coincided with the tense atmosphere at the moment. Subai sensed the positions of the 7 people and said, "Let's pretend to rest first. Don't make any noise and don't need to keep vigil. We can just wait and see." "Keep what? Wait for what?" Yanhua looked confused and continued to ask what does this mean? "Just wait quietly for the enemy to come." Subai forgot that they don't understand idioms. "So that's it, I get it," Yanhua said thoughtfully, thinking that this might be taught by the big tribe. Do you want to put out this fire?" De Gua asked curiously. Subai raised his hand to stop the other party and said no, destroying it will make them suspicious. "That's it?" Yes. De Gua took back the stone he was holding to extinguish the fire. Yan Jiao lowered his eyebrows and reluctantly squatted down, still looking straight ahead. At the same time, a few hundred meters away from Subai and others, Yeju and others were preparing to make a move. "Big boss, should we go grab their jerky?" the mountain bear said excitedly. He has been coveting their dried meat since he saw it during the day. "Yes, all the totem warriors are here, and there is no one to protect them at the gathering place. I am afraid that it will be dangerous if it goes on for a long time," Xiao Ya said worriedly. Yeju blinked his gray eyes, stared seriously in the direction of Subai and others, and said, "Wait a little longer, let's go out again when they fall asleep." "I will definitely eat a lot when I get the dried meat," Mountain Bear said excitedly. Thin Tooth grinned a pair of big front teeth and said with a look of anticipation, "It's been a long time since we've eaten and we haven't had enough. So many people's flesh is enough for us to eat for a long time." Yeah, several other totem warriors also echoed. Yeju glanced at them and said coldly, "Be quiet, don't rush into nothing when the time comes." "Yes, Big Boss." Mountain Xiong and the others nodded coquettishly. As time passed, Yeju and the others had been hiding behind the big tree, waiting for the opportunity. Even if they were bitten by mosquitoes, they had no time to care. Yeju wrinkled, he frowned, stretched out his hand and pulled out a stone knife, and ordered softly, "Shan Xiong, Shoya, lead 2 people to rush forward, and the rest of us will grab from behind." "Yes," the 2 mountain bears said excitedly. "As long as they can grab the dried meat, it doesn't matter if they are the first to rush." Tap tap tap. Shoya and the others ran out excitedly, heading in the direction of Subai and others with greedy faces, followed closely by Yeju and others. Just when Shan Xiong and others were about to reach Subai and others' position, one of their totem warriors was thrown away by the flame horn. The other totem warrior had not yet reacted and was also punched in the stomach. He immediately lost his ability to fight. Xiao's face changed drastically, his eyes widened, and he shouted in horror, Aren't you asleep?" The mountain bear was dazzled by the 2 bags of dried meat, and rushed forward regardless, shouting, "Give me the dried meat." The totem pattern on Yan Jiao's body has been fully revealed. He raised his fist and punched the mountain bear in the stomach. As you can imagine, the opponent was only a junior totem warrior. A punch from an intermediate totem warrior was enough to make the mountain bear suffer. He fell. Heya and Mai Mang also rushed out, with totem patterns also appearing on their bodies, while De Gua, Hua Ming, and Yan Hua were guarding Subai. Thousand Ya was already scared and sweating profusely. Looking at the totem pattern on Yan Jiao's body, he said incoherently, Are you an intermediate totem warrior?" Yan Jiao shook his fist, and with a dark face, he approached Shoya step by step. It felt like he would twist his head off in the next second. Shoya was so frightened that he quickly backed away, staggering and looking very embarrassed. He was gone. The initial fierceness. Yeju also looked shocked, his grey pupils suddenly shrank, and he said in horror, "Why, how can there be an intermediate totem warrior?" They were completely defeated in the sneak attack. As long as the opponent has an intermediate totem warrior, plus 4 other division level totem warriors, it is enough to defeat them. Big boss, what to do now?" Xiaoya stammered. "Want to steal our jerky? Then let's see if my fist answers," Yan Jiao said fiercely. Run quickly," Yeju shouted. Please update for support and customization. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. I was a village chief in a primitive society. Author, Big White Monster. Chapter 83. Chapter 83, Join Us? 2 more please customize. Subai looked at the backs of the other party and ordered, "Chief, Blacktooth, stop them, don't let them run away." Yes, the Yanjiao people immediately responded. Tap tap tap. Yanjiao and others rushed forward 3 steps at a time and stopped Yeju and others. One of them tried to run away, but was punched to the ground. After struggling for about 10 minutes, Yeju and others were all tied up with vines by Maimang and the others, and thrown in rows in front of Subai. Subai put his hands behind his back, looked at them carefully, and asked, "Which tribe are you from?" Yeju blinked her grey eyes, looked straight at Subai who was speaking, and said, "We are all from several tribes. People from a tribe, but, we are all wanderers." Subai raised his eyebrows slightly. The foreigner who spoke looked very pretty. After coming back to his senses, he asked, "So you guys want to come here? Steal our dried meat?" Shoya shuddered, not daring to raise his head, muttering, "We have no choice. You actually have intermediate totem warriors." Yeju glanced at Yan Jiao and continued, "Without him, you would not be our opponent at all." "That's right, you only have 5 totem warriors, and we have 7. And the big boss's strength is 1 against 3. There is no problem. We could have grabbed the dried meat and took it back," the mountain bear shouted muffledly. "How dare you be so arrogant?" The flaming horn hit the mountain bear's head. Subai looked at Yeju up and down, thinking in his heart, how can this foreign woman be so strong? If she can enter her own tribe, it might not be a good thing. He came back to his senses. He asked seriously, "Your tribe has perished. Now you want to find a tribe to integrate into, or are you planning to kidnap a witchback?" Yeju's grey pupils narrowed slightly, and he nodded. "Well, that's what we plan to do. In this case, why are you trying to steal our dried meat?" "We don't have witches here." Subai said this deliberately. Yan Jiao, Yanhua and others looked puzzled, but they quickly realized that they were not in the tribe now and could not expose Wu's identity. "We still have more than 200 people waiting to eat, both young and old. Before looking for a tribe, the first thing we must consider is filling our stomachs." Yeju said word by word. Subai was secretly happy in his heart. These 200 people are full of labor force and the basis for expanding the tribe. He adjusted his mood and asked, "You mean you still have 2 more people, more than 100 people? How many totem warriors are there?" "We're all here, just the 7 of us." Yeju nudged the people around him with his chin. Subai blinked his black eyes and asked seriously, "Then do you want to join our tribe?" He thought clearly. This time, he got a lot of dried meat from the spotted deer market. The dried meat is enough to feed the people in the tribe, and there is still some extra. It can definitely accommodate 200 people. Besides, the next time I change things will be 8 days later, and I will be able to get back a lot of dried meat by then. Yan Jiao was the first to widen his eyes and said in shock, Subai, are you telling the truth? Let them go to our tribe." Yanhua was also very surprised. Subai waved his hand to calm them down and said, "Don't get excited, I have my own arrangements." Yeju frowned and asked doubtfully, "Let us join your tribe. What tribe are you from?" "No kidding, right?" "Yes, and there are so many people here. If you want to join, you can join." "It is impossible for the witches and chiefs of your tribe to agree." Xiaoya agreed. "Yes, I don't agree," Yan Jiao answered immediately. Subai rolled his eyes and said, "As long as you are willing, their Yanlong tribe will not be unwilling." Yeju nodded without thinking and said seriously, "As long as what you say is true, then we are willing to join your Yanlong tribe." "Okay, we will set off early tomorrow morning. If I find out that you have any bad intentions, I can't guarantee whether your head is still on your neck." Subai told the ugly words in front of him. "Don't worry, we will be honest." Yeju looked down at the vines on his body and said, "But before that, we have to go back and bring them here." "Are they far from here?" Subai asked. Yeju thought for a moment, shook his head and said, "It's not very far. It can be reached in just half a day's walk. Don't worry, just let 2 people go back to protect them. It's hard to rush with so many people at night, so let them rush over in the morning when it's almost dawn." Subai arranged. Yes, Yeju's cold face began to have a slight smile. "Yan Jiao, untie the 2 people and let them go back," Subai ordered. "This is too risky. What if they come back with more totem warriors?" Yan Jiao said worriedly. "If we brought more people, we might not be able to handle it," Maimang echoed. Yeju blinked his grey eyes and said coldly, "I never lie. Only 7 is 7. You said 7, just 7. How can we believe you?" Maimang retorted. Yeju didn't speak anymore, and the expression on his face didn't change. It was still cold and cold. "Anyway, they are still here with us, they will not mess around, let them go," Subai ordered. Yes, Yan Jiao had a look of reluctance. He walked up to the 2 totem warriors who looked very thin and helped them untie the vines. Yeju looked at the 2 totem warriors and said, "Protect them tonight, wait. When daybreak comes, bring them here." "What if they don't want to?" a totem warrior said worriedly. "Just say that there are tribes willing to take us in. At this time, I believe they will not be unwilling," Yeju said word by word. "Yes, big boss," the totem warrior nodded. Yeju pursed his lips and added, "By the way, just say that we are already waiting for them, don't tell us about being kidnapped." "Clear," the 2 totem warriors nodded. They turned around and disappeared into the night. Second update, please support and customize. I was a village chief in a primitive society. Author, Big White Monster. Chapter 84. Chapter 84, Not Enough to Eat? 3 more requests for customization. A soft sunlight penetrated through the layers of trees and reflected on Subai's side face. He frowned, reached out to cover his eyes, and slowly opened his eyes. The first thing he saw was not the sky, but a pair of red eyes. Yanhua tilted her head, blinked her red eyes and said, "Are you up? Is it because of the sun?" Subai stretched out his hand and touched his neck. It was really uncomfortable to sleep in the wild. He saw when the horned lady stood in front of him, he thought that she was probably helping to block the sun. He stretched out his waist, looked at the sun in the sky, it was probably about 8 o'clock, and said lazily, "Good morning." "Good morning. Did you sleep well yesterday?" Yanhua asked curiously. Last night, she could feel that Subai had been tossing and turning. It is definitely not as comfortable as in the tribe. Subai glanced around and found that Yeju and others were still there, but Heya was missing, and asked, "Did Heya go out to find food?" "Yes, he went to find some wild fruits and wanted to eat the meat. Eat it for breakfast." Yanhua nodded. Yan Jiao came over, holding 2 skewers of dried meat in his hand, and said, "Subai, are you awake? The dried meat is ready to eat. You should eat some first." Subai took the dried meat. Thinking of having to eat such greasy food so early in the morning, he couldn't help but lose his appetite. He said, "You guys eat it first. I'll eat some wild fruits later." Yes, Yan Jiao was very hungry for a long time. He took the dried meat and ate it with big mouthfuls. He was keeping vigil in the second half of last night. He said that the danger was greater in the second half of the night, and he had to guard against Yeju's accomplices. They make a sneak attack. Get them something to eat, Subai ordered to Mei Mang. Do you really want to give them food? Mei Mang had a look of reluctance. These dried meats were just bought back. Well, otherwise they faint. Do you want to carry them back? Subai asked back. Mei Mang curled his lips, immediately took out some dried meat from the animal skin bag, and said, "I'll bake it right away." Tap tap tap. He wrapped a pile of wild fruits with leaves, returned to the crowd, handed the wild fruits to Subai first, and said, "You eat first." Subai took the wild fruits and wiped the animal skin on his body. He wiped it, took a bite and asked on the way to find wild fruits, "Did you meet any night chirping people?" Not yet. Heya shook his head. Okay, you should also eat something and take a rest, Subai said lightly. Degua wiped his mouth that he had just finished eating with his hand and said, "I will go around the area first to see if I can continue to hunt some wild beasts and come back. By the way, I will see when they will arrive." Well, bring the witch dominoes, Subai nodded. More than 4 hours later, Degua came back with 2 wild boars on his shoulders and reported, "I saw them not far away. They are the totem warriors from last night. There are many people behind them. In your opinion, among those people, besides the 2 last night, are there any other totem warriors?" Subai asked. Degua thought about it for a moment, shook his head and said, "Probably not. I looked carefully. Except for the 2 of them, no one else looks like a totem warrior." Okay, I guessed it right. Subai's guess was confirmed. Yanhua blinked her red eyes, chewing a wild fruit in her mouth, and asked, "Do you want to help them untie the vines?" "Untie it? Don't wait until those people come and find out that it's not what they said." Subai nodded and said. Yes, Yanhua took the lead and walked over to untie Yeju's vines. Black Teeth and Waming were also helping to untie other people's vines, but they were always vigilant to prevent the other party from playing tricks. After Yeju's vines were uncovered, shook his hands that had been tied up all night, and said softly, "Thank you. If you want to thank me, please thank our family." "Our family?" Subai Yanhua almost let it slip. Half an hour later, 2 other totem warriors came to Subai and others with more than 200 people. Subai's black eyes scanned the 200 people and found that more than half of them, they were all old people, women and children, and there were only 50 or 60 young men at most. However, these numbers were only what he could digest for the time being, and there was nothing he could do about it. After all, young men could eat meat much faster than old men and women. Yeju immediately stood up and walked to those people, looking left and right to make sure they were all okay. Seeing how nervous she looked, Subai couldn't help but sigh inwardly. I didn't expect that she looked so cold on the outside. But in his heart he was very worried about his companions. After Yeju made sure that they were all right, he turned to Subai and asked, "Can you give them some food? We will definitely help the tribe by then." "Certainly." Subai raised his eyebrows slightly, turned to Heya and ordered, "Bring out some more dried meat and bake it to make sure they have enough to eat." Yes, Heya nodded and took out more dried meat from the animal skin bag. More than 200 people couldn't move their eyes when they saw the several large bags of dried meat on the ground. They could even hear someone swallowing it. The sound of eye swallowing saliva sounded like someone who hadn't eaten for several days. Some of them even stood on their tiptoes and watched, each one of them whispering to each other. "Look, there are so many bags of dried meat. The big boss really didn't lie to us. Great, we will also have jerky to eat in the future. Yeah, we're no longer homeless." Subai could hear all these words whispered in his ears, and he heard them clearly. In this era, food and a safe place to sleep are undoubtedly the most popular things, and both of these are what he can do now. Yanhu looked at the hungry faces of more than 200 people and said worriedly, "Subai, I'm afraid these dried meats won't be enough for them. It is definitely impossible to be completely full. I can only eat half full at most. I have calculated that, plus these dried meats and the rest of the tribe, as well as the meat returned from hunting every day, I can last until the next market. The meat comes back and it is completely enough," Subai said softly. "That's good. I'm afraid these people will eat all the dried meat, and then our visit this time will be in vain." Yanhua pursed her lips. Subai put his hands behind his back and said firmly, "Don't worry, I won't let this happen." Yanhua looked up at Subai's side face, paused and said, "Yes, I believe it." Since Subai became a witch, she has seen all the changes in the tribe, and almost every decision has been correct, so she chooses to believe whatever the other party says. Third update, please support and customize. I was a village chief in a primitive society. Author, Big White Monster. Chapter 85. Chapter 85, Don't I Look Like That? One more please customize. Rustling. After several days of journey, Subai and others crossed the forest and returned to the edge of the tribe. This time it took one day longer than the previous time, because there were more than 200 people, so it was still a bit constrained to travel. Yeju looked at the tribe not far away and wondered, is this the Yanlong tribe? But it's different from what they said. Subai put his hands behind his back and asked, "Oh? What did you hear about Yanlong tribe? What do they say?" "They said that the Yanlong tribe was wiped out by the Black Snake tribe and there were not many people left." However, why is it not what they said now? Yeju was puzzled. Although the tribe she saw in front of her could not be said to be a big tribe, the people in the tribe did not look sad. Because there are still witches in this tribe, it will not be any worse, and it will only get better in the future, Subai said word by word. "Also, are there still witches? Then can you take me to see him?" Thank you in person." Yeju hesitated for a moment. Yanjiao walked up to Subai, pointed at the 200 people, and asked respectfully how are they going to arrange it? "First arrange the outer tents for them to live in." "I will arrange what they should do later," Subai ordered. "Yes." Yanjiao nodded. He turned around and asked Degua and Wang to lead them to the outer area. Yeju's grey pupils widened and he asked in surprise, Are you a witch, Su?" Bai spread his hands and said with a smile, "What, don't I look like that?" "No, it's not." Yeju recalled that Subai's status in the forest these days was indeed very high, but he didn't think about it. "You go and take a rest first, I will arrange what you should do later," Subai said softly. "Yes, which?" Yeju nodded. Subai was stunned for a moment, but he didn't expect that the other party would directly change his name, which was a bit unexpected. "Wu, Ahua, you are back." Yuying came all the way over waving her hands. "You take the dried meat and put it away first, and put the materials for making the witch dominoes at my place," Subai ordered to Heya and others. "Yes," which Heya and Maimang responded immediately. Yanhua looked at the pair of swaying breasts when the fox-eared girl ran over. She looked down at herself and shook her head helplessly. When the fox-eared girl ran to them, Subai nodded softly, "Yes, we are back." "Wu, why did you come back one day later than expected?" I thought something had happened to you." Yuying looked tired. "It looked like she didn't sleep well last night. There was some delay on the way, but aren't we back safely?" Subai smiled slightly, looking at the pitiful appearance of the fox-eared lady, and continued, "Let's go into the tent, we're a little hungry." "Yes, I prepared a lot of dried meat and roasted it for the witch to eat immediately." Yuying began to have a smile on her face and continued, "Wu, I took good care of the sweet potatoes. They didn't die." "Very good," Subai praised. "Have you not slept well these days?" Yanhua saw two dark spots under fox-eared lady's eyes. Yuying smiled and scratched her head, muttering, I miss you too much. I don't even know how you are doing. Yanhua narrowed her eyes slightly and teased, do you really miss me, or want something else? No, let's go back to the tent. Wu must be tired and needs to rest, Yuying urged. Tap tap tap. Subai and others stepped back into the big tent. The fire in the fire pit in the middle was already burning brightly. Subai saw that the tent was still neat and tidy, and smiled. Have you been staying here these days? In the first few days of absence, I went to help tear the rami stems, and then stayed in the tent for the next 2 days, sewing linen clothes for you while waiting for the witch to come back. Yuying's soft and waxy voice sounded. Oh? Have you finished sewing the linen clothes? Subai asked curiously. Yes, it's already sewn. Yuying nodded heavily, turned around and went to rummage in the box. Subai sat on the stone bench, stretched out, and breathed a sigh of relief, thinking that he could finally relax. He had been tense in the forest, and it was inevitable that he would be a little bit nervous. Tired? Yuying rummaged through and found a linen coat, and said expectantly, Wu, look, I sewed it according to the size of the previous animal skin coat. I don't know if it will fit. Subai took the linen clothes and looked through them. The workmanship was not very good, but it was pretty good. He said with satisfaction, I'll put it on after taking a shower tonight. I'm going to grill Wu and Ahua, Yuying said with a smile. Wait a minute, we've got a good thing in exchange for you. Do you want to take a look? Yanhua said mysteriously. Yuying blinked her pink eyes, nodded and said, okay, what did you bring back for me? Guess what, it will be something you like. Yanhua said with a smile. Could it be lanhaguo? Yuying guessed. Lanhai fruit is an edible fruit with a large leaf. When the fruit is ripe, break it open and eat the pulp inside. The appearance is dark red when mature and green when unripe. Subaidi, when I saw this fruit, the first impression that came to my mind was passion fruit. It is very similar to the passion fruit on the other side of the earth. Not only the appearance, but also the taste is the same, sour and sweet. This time I also changed it. He came back with a lot of orchid sea fruits, and he wanted to try it to see if it was really the same as the passion fruit on the other side of the earth. If so, it would be very useful. It's really boring, I guessed it right away. Yanhua took out the orchid sea fruit from the animal skin bag and handed it to Fox Ear Girl. If you say I like it, then you are right about lanhaguo, Yuying said softly. The fox-eared lady was with her father before my mother passed away. She would often go to the spotted deer market to exchange orchid fruits for her to eat, so this taste is still very nostalgic. Please update for support and customization. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. I was a village chief in a primitive society. Author, Big White Monster. Chapter 86. Chapter 86, Arrangement. 2 more please customize. Yuying peeled off a lanhai fruit and handed it to Subai, saying softly, Wu, you eat first. Subai took half of it and said, I'll just eat half of it. This time I got a lot in exchange, so feel free to eat it. Yes, thank you, Wu. Yuying nodded heavily. After Subai finished eating the lanhai fruit, he asked, nothing happened in the tribe recently, right? Before Yuying could finish her words, she was interrupted by voices outside. Wu, can I come in? It was Kangxi who spoke. Of course Subai knew what he was here for. He nodded and said, come in. After Kangxi came in, he leaned slightly to show respect, and then said in confusion, Wu, why are there so many people all of a sudden? I asked the chief but he didn't answer me. He was just busy. They will all be members of the tribe from now on, Subai said lightly. Kangxi's purple eyes stared at the boss, and he said in surprise, Wu, is what you said true? Will they all be in the tribe from now on? It looks like there are more than 200 people, so your safety becomes a problem. He could feel that there were a lot of totem warriors on the other side, and there were so many more people at once, so he was inevitably very worried. True, but in the early days, they lived on the periphery and would not enter the tribe. Subai knows what the other person is worried about. Woo, there are so many people here all of a sudden, I'm afraid we don't have enough food. Kenshi is a little worried. This time we went to the spotted deer tribe in exchange for a lot of food, and you will also go hunting. Even if you include them, it will be enough for us to consume, Subai said seriously. Woo, I also saw those dried meats. They can support so many of us for the time being, but they definitely won't be able to go to the spotted deer market to exchange for food next time. Kenshi said worriedly. Subai blinked his black eyes and said with a smile, our next trading time will be in 8 days. Then you can go and experience the excitement of spotted deer market in person. Kenshi looked confused, blinked his purple eyes, and asked, 8 days later, isn't it 15 days later? I reached a deal with the people at the spotted deer market, and the original transaction once every 15 days was shortened to once every 8 days, Subai briefly explained the situation. If this is the case, then there will be no problem feeding the entire tribe now. Kenshi breathed a sigh of relief. He had a little more respect for Wu in his heart. He didn't expect that he could actually change the time of spotted deer market. The most important thing was to shorten the time. These days you have people keep a close eye on the new arrivals, just to be on the safe side, Subai ordered. Kenshi suddenly became energetic and nodded heavily. Don't worry, Wu, I will definitely keep a close eye on them. Subai thought of the other party's character and quickly added, don't be too impulsive, and don't make it obvious. Be more natural, you know. He was a little afraid that Kenshi would send people to stare at them like prisoners, which would inevitably make the other party feel a little uncomfortable and even not completely trust the tribe. Yes, I understand. Kenshi seemed to have been seen through, and felt a little guilty. He changed the subject and said, do those people also have to work? Of course, those totem warriors will hunt and patrol with you, while those women will help sew animal skin clothing and the like, and everyone will do things accordingly, Subai said with a slight smile. Kenshi nodded thoughtfully, then became nervous again, lowering his voice and said, we can't let them know about the linen, let alone let them participate in making linen. Well, there is no need for them to help tear the rami stems or twist the hemp rope at the beginning. Let them do other things first. I will discuss these with the chief. You have your own tasks. Subai said seriously. Kenshi also became serious and said, Wu, is there any task you want me to do? There are 7 totem warriors in total. You are the leader of the hunting team. You allocate them among them. You know who is more talented to hunt with you, or who is more agile or stronger. You know these better than me, Subai said word by word. Kenshi patted his chest and said seriously, don't worry, they taught me everything. Don't take them to do anything other than hunting at first, just hunting, Subai warned. Yes, Wu, I see there are many boys in their prime, what should I do? Kenshi asked. As long as their nutrition keeps up, most of them can awaken their totem patterns, so don't treat them badly, just train them well, Subai said. As long as half of these men in their 50s and 60s can awaken as totem warriors, then the Yanlong tribe will truly move towards strength. Kenshi looked serious and stood tall. He was very straightforward and said, I will definitely treat them the same as I treat the people of my own tribe. Very good. Subai was a little relieved. He thought that people in the tribe, especially those at the leadership level, would be very repulsive. The voice of Yan Jiao sounded outside the tent. Chief? Come in. Subai opened his voice. Yan Jiao opened the curtain and walked in, reporting, Wu, those people have been settled and food has been prepared for them. Great, I was just looking for you, Subai said. I wonder if Wu came to me because of their affairs. Yan Jiao guessed. Well, there are many women and children among them. Children can be sent to the classroom to study, while the women arrange for them to pick wild vegetables, etc. You should know how to arrange these, Subai ordered. Yes, I will take care of the arrangements. Don't worry, Wu, I will never let them get close to you in the beginning. Yan Jiao said seriously. Subai blinked his black eyes and said, you have to make people responsible for teaching them how to go to the toilet, take a bath, and not throw away eaten bones. These must be done step by step. They will only listen when you are told at the beginning. After all, they have no food and can only rely on the tribe to provide it. If we delay talking about this issue until later, the effect will not be as good as in the early stage. It's a good idea, and it's also very revolting. Yes, which Yan Jiao responded immediately. Subai gave some instructions and let them go down. They really haven't had much rest in the wild these days. Second update, please support and customize. I was a village chief in a primitive society. Author, Big White Monster. Chapter 87. Chapter 87, Dizzy Witch Dominoes. 3 more, please customize. After dealing with the affairs of more than 200 people, Subai ate some dried meat hastily and began to study another method of making witch dominoes. He unfolded the animal skin scroll and read the words on it carefully, and found that the only thing missing was the divination dominoes he had not made. If you want your tribe to grow stronger, catch more prey, and not be bullied when you go to the market to exchange for linen, you must quickly make the other 2 kinds of witch dominoes. When Subai watched the Vertigo witchcraft before, he found that it took about 3 days to learn it, so every night when everyone was asleep, he would learn the Vertigo witchcraft first. He spread the roll of animal skin on the table, pressed the 2 edges with stones, and began to think about it. There are 2 kinds of ferocious beast patterns on the animal skin roll, one is the ferocious beast giant mouth fish, and the other is the ferocious beast broad-eared wild horse. In addition to the 2 ferocious beast patterns, there is also a plant. Apart from these, there are only some words. These words record the formula of the materials, how to obtain them, etc. The style of the dominoes is not much different from the previous medicine and witch dominoes. The only difference is that the materials are different. Subai had already remembered all these materials in his mind when he set out for the Spotted Deer market. At that time, in addition to exchanging the linen for dried meat, the most important thing was to exchange for the materials for making witch dominoes. Goo. Subai took a sip of water, rubbed his hands, and thought to himself, I don't know if the making of the witch dominoes will go smoothly this time. He thought that the last time he made witch dominoes, he spent a lot of witch power. Last time it was a medicine witch domino, and this time it was a witch domino. The 2 were different, and the witch power consumed would definitely be the same. No, the same. Just like last time, Subai took out an animal brush, a bowl made from the head of a ferocious beast, a mortar, a red tooth knife, etc. Generally speaking, the materials needed were similar to those last time. He first used witchcraft to wash away the animal bones, then took out a thin piece of charcoal and drew a witchcraft pattern on the animal bones, which was an eye. It seems a bit difficult this time, not as good as last time, Subai murmured to himself. This time the witch pattern was an eye. It took more than half an hour to finish drawing a piece of animal bone, at the same speed as the first time he drew the medicine witch domino. Call. Subai blew away the charcoal dust on the animal bones, squinted his eyes slightly and looked at his masterpiece, and said with a bit of disgust, it's crooked, the result will definitely not be good this way. After that, he wiped eye with the animal skin. Wipe off the pattern on the animal bone, pick up the charcoal and continue drawing line drawings. More than 20 minutes later, Subai completed the painting again. This time the painting speed was faster than the first time, and the pattern he painted was not bad. He picked up the red tooth knife and frowned, and carefully began to carve on the animal bone step by step. Every step was done with great care. As his hand lifted and lowered the knife, the animal bone fragments also fell on the table little by little. Half an hour later, Subai looked at the animal bones in his hand and said with a wry smile, "It's really not easy to make an animal domino." Subai sipped his saliva and saw the fox-eared girl in the corner of the tent quietly sewing linen cloth. Yi, Niojiao Niang went back after dinner. He retracted his thoughts and looked at the animal bones in his hands, dusted off the debris on the table, and looked at the records on it. Subai squinted his eyes and looked at it for a long time. Although he remembered it in his mind, he still looked at it more just to be sure. He murmured to himself, the blood of the ferocious giant-mouthed unicorn fish requires 12 drops. There are 4 hairs of a wide-eared wild horse and a stem of vascular grass. According to the records on the animal skin, he rummaged in the bag he brought back from the spotted deer market and quickly found these few things. There are several things on the table. The animal bone bottle contains the blood of the giant-mouthed unicorn fish. This was left by the old witch. The remaining 2 items were exchanged for it at spotted deer market. Great, everything is ready, let's start mixing. Subai flicked his wrist. A section of vascular grass stem, Subai said to himself, picked up a section of the vascular plant, and placed it in the bowl of the ferocious beast's skull. The appearance of the vascular plant is just like a human blood vessel. It is long, red, and has distinct nodes, so it is still very beautiful. It's easy to measure. He then found the hair of the ferocious wild horse, counted 4 hairs and put them into the ferocious beast's skull bowl. But what he was curious about was whether this formula was really rigorous. After all, ferocious beasts, his hair can be long or short. What if the 3 hairs are all different lengths? He shook his head and didn't bother to get to the bottom of it. He pulled out the bone plug and started dripping the beast's blood into the bowl. 1 drop, 2 drops, 3 drops. Subai stuffed the bones back, looked at the ingredients in the bowl and breathed a sigh of relief, muttering to himself, finally the mixing is finished. The next change was the same as before, all the ingredients began to mix together, but this time the color is blood red, which looks particularly eye-catching. It wasn't the first time Subai saw it, but he was still a little surprised. He sighed inwardly, it's just like doing chemical experiments, there are different surprises every time. He picked up the animal hair brush and poked it into the bowl of the ferocious beast's skull. This time it was different. The light emitted was no longer a light crystal green, but a dark blue, which then spread to the animal hair brush. Subai couldn't help but raise his eyebrows slightly, and murmured softly, it seems that the colors emitted by witchcraft and witchcraft are different. It's not the first time I've made it, so there shouldn't be any mistakes. He picked up the pen and began to trace the lines on the animal bones. With his previous experience, this time he was no longer nervous, but completed it smoothly. Perfect. Subai nodded with satisfaction, put down the animal brush and stared at the animal bones in his hand. The eye patterns on the animal bones still exuded a dark blue color, the same as last time, showing a little warmth, but this time it was different. It comes warmer. 3rd update, please support and customize. I was a village chief in a primitive society. Author, Big White Monster. Chapter 88. Chapter 88, I am too weak to open the package. One more request for customization. Subai made the witch dominoes for most of the day, and the time came to night unknowingly. After finishing dinner, he took the linen clothes sewn by Fox-Ear Girl and went to take a bath. In about 10 minutes, Subai walked back to the tent, feeling the feeling brought by the new clothes, and said with satisfaction, it is much more comfortable than animal skin clothes after all. Yu Ying blinked her pink eyes and said expectantly, Woo, what? Like? Do the clothes still fit? Of course, it fits perfectly and is very comfortable to wear. Subai opened his hands with a smile. It's great. I was worried that it would be too small, but I didn't expect it to be just right. Yu Ying breathed a sigh of relief. Anyway, there is still some time before the next trip to Spotted Deer Market, and there are enough linen cloths. You can make a few more clothes, and I will make them for you and Ahua. By the way, Sudbai said softly. Last time, 30 rolls of linen were made in 3 days. When they left the tribe to go to the spotted deer market, the people in the tribe were still making it. It will be 4 days until the next time they go to the spotted deer tribe. It's the queen's business. The quantity of sackcloth will definitely reach the quantity agreed upon with the spotted deer tribe at that time. Really? Witch Yueying's pink eyes widened until they were round. Really, after a while, everyone in the tribe will be able to wear linen clothes, Sudbai said with a smile. Thank you. Wu Yuying nodded heavily, her pink foxtail wagging non-stop, making people want to catch it. Sudbai walked to the stone table and sat down, took a sip and said, Xiao Yu, you can also prepare to take a shower. It's too late and you can't see it. Actually, he wants to open the aid package. The system has saved 8 aid packages. If he opens it all at once, a lot of things will appear, and it is not very convenient for the fox-eared girl to be here at the moment. Yes, Wu, I will go now. Yu Ying nodded, took the animal skin clothes and walked out of the tent. Sudbai looked at the shaking door curtain and began to expect system, open a package. Ding. Congratulations to the host on the primary aid, a tube of toothpaste. As soon as Sudbai received the message, a tube of toothpaste appeared out of thin air in his hand. He picked up the toothpaste and looked at it. He found that there was no text annotation, just the word toothpaste. He chuckled, put away the toothpaste, and continued. Let the system open the second aid package. Ding. Congratulations to the host on receiving primary aid, a row of toothbrushes. Sudbai simply rolled his eyes and secretly cursed. How dare we not show up together? This takes up 2 aid packages. He looked at the row of toothbrushes that appeared out of thin air in his hand. They were 5 toothbrushes packed together. Considering the quantity, he was not so depressed. Sudbai adjusted his mood and continued. Open the third package. Ding. Congratulations to the host for getting primary assistance, a recurve bow and how to make it. Recurve bow. Finally found something useful. Sudbai secretly rejoiced. He looked at the recurve bow and a thin book that appeared in his hand, and his mood improved greatly. You must know how lucky it is to have a recurve bow now. Compared with other bows, the recurve bow, it can store more energy, making the arrows shot with higher kinetic energy. Sudbai put down the recurve bow, opened the book and began to read, secretly saying with joy, this is great, even the making materials and methods are. It is written in such detail. The materials presented in the book can all be found in this primitive world, and the production method is simpler. When the production is completed, it will be nice to see if the power has changed. Sudbai closed emotion, put down the recurve bow and the book, and continued in his heart. System, open the fourth package. Ding. Congratulations to the host for receiving primary aid, a pack of white rabbit toffees. This is okay, I haven't had anything sweet for a long time. Sudbai was a little dumbfounded. He placed a large bag of white rabbit toffee on the table and prepared to continue opening the aid package. Ding. Congratulations to the host for receiving primary aid, a packet of salt. Sudbai looked at the earth-style package of salt in his hand and sighed inwardly. Finally, there is purified salt, and my food can be improved. He was in a much better mood than when he first bought the toothpaste, and he started to look forward to it. The next aid package is coming. After all, there are 3 more. It's a bit uncomfortable to open many aid packages at once. Ding. Congratulations to the host for obtaining intermediate assistance, 111 square meter space skill. Sudbai, the eldest brother with wide open black pupils, found it interesting, and his mind was running rapidly. Summoning the system in his heart, he asked, if I understand correctly, is this equivalent to the inner space? I can store things and take them with me. Is this the right way to go? Yes, host, the length, width and height of this space are 111. The things that can be stored are limited, but no one else can see it. The system beeped. Subai nodded with satisfaction and murmured to himself, with this space, it will be much more convenient in the future. Many secret things can be stored in it. He picked up the water glass and took a sip, and began to look forward to the last 2 aid packages, mentally letting the system finish them all at once. Ding! Congratulations to the host for getting primary aid, a bottle of chili sauce. Ding! Congratulations to the host for getting primary assistance, a pillow. It's not bad, a chili sauce for seasoning, and a pillow to improve my sleep. It just so happens that the stone pillow also makes me uncomfortable to sleep on, Subai thought to himself. Every night he slept on a stone pillow covered with animal skins. He really couldn't get used to it at first, so he simply stopped using the pillow. As for the chili sauce, it couldn't be better. When he was on Earth, he liked everything spicy and was willing to add some chili sauce to everything he ate. When he first arrived in this primitive tribe, he worried about this for a while. Unexpectedly, he got a bottle now. Anyway, those who planted the peppers are not ready to be harvested yet, so you can use them first. What satisfied Subai the most was the space skill of the intermediate assistance package. After opening so many, he finally opened an intermediate assistance package, but it was not easy. Secondly, he was satisfied. It is that recurve bow, which can be said to have brought new security to the tribe. As long as it is made, there is no need to worry too much, even if the tribe does not have many totem warriors now. Please update for support and customization. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. I was a village chief in a primitive society. Author, Big White Monster. Chapter 89. Chapter 89, So Many Strange Things. 2 more please customize. Subai looked at the things on the stone table, nodded with satisfaction, and called in his heart system, open the character attribute panel. Property panel. Host, Subai. Stamina, 2.8. Normal 1. Strength, 2.7. Normal 1. Speed, 2.6. Ordinary people 1. Spirit, 12.4. Ordinary person 1. Witch power, 26. 26/100. Totem, Flame Dragon. Occupation, Junior Wizard. Novelist. Skill, Healing Leave 1. 92/100. 111 square meters of space. Explanation, you have gotten rid of an ordinary person in a sub-healthy state and upgraded to a shaman with extraordinary power. Please remember your original intention. There has actually been an increase in all aspects. Is it because I ate the meat of ferocious beasts last time? Subai guessed. Needless to say, the witchcraft power is consumed when making witchcraft dominoes. In terms of skills, it is also an intermediate assistance package. Looking at it this way, I can still eat more of the ferocious beast meat, Subai began to think in his heart. Woo, I finished washing, Yu Ying shouted softly outside the tent. After the fox-eared lady received permission, she opened the curtain and walked into the tent. She saw that there were so many things on the stone table. She rubbed her eyes and asked Wu, what are those on the table? Subai glanced at the white rabbit toffee on the table, smiled and said, come here, I'll give you something delicious. Delicious? Is it lanhaguo? Yu Ying still thought about that fruit. Subai was a little dumbfounded. He picked up the white rabbit toffee and handed it over, saying, it's much sweeter than that one. Yu Ying took the toffee, looked at it curiously, and asked, why is there a hair pattern on it? This is a specialty of my hometown. Try it, you will definitely like it. Subai was looking forward to the fox-eared lady's reaction. Yu Ying put a whole toffee into her mouth, chewed it twice and frowned, why does this taste so weird? Su. Bai was a little dumbfounded. He opened a new toffee, handed it over and said, "You have to open it before you can eat it." Ah, Yu Ying's face suddenly turned red. She felt so embarrassed. Ha ha ha, Subai also took out a toffee and put it in his mouth. He hadn't eaten it for a long time. Yu Ying chewed for a long time and said in shock, "Wu, why is this so sweet?" "It's the sweetest thing I've ever eaten since I grew up." The fox-eared girl happily held her cheeks with her hands, a look on her face, happy and satisfied look. "Just like it, there are still a lot here, I can give some to Ahua tomorrow," Subai said with a slight smile. "This tastes really good." He doesn't like eating very sweet food. "People will like it?" "Uh-huh." Yu Ying nodded heavily, pointed to the things on the table, and asked Wu, "Is there anything you want me to help clean up?" "No, oh, by the way, this is table salt. From now on, we will add this salt to the barbecue we eat." Subai handed over the salt. "Wu, why is this different from the one I exchanged for at Spotted Deer Market?" Yu Ying asked curiously. "This one is more salty." Subai only thought of this word. Yu Ying combed her pink hair, nodded and said, "I understand, I will use this tomorrow." Subai handed over the chili sauce and said, "You can also add a little of this when the barbecue is drying, and it will taste good." "Wu, what is this?" Yu Ying looked at the glass jar in her hand in confusion. "It's chili sauce, which makes it spicy when added to barbecue," Subai explained. Yu Ying tilted her head, looked at the chili sauce in confusion, and asked doubtfully, "But weren't the chili peppers just planted?" "Oh, I brought this before and almost forgot to take it out." Subai quickly told the lie. "Yes, I will add it to the jerky tomorrow," Yu Ying said softly. "You have to add it in moderation, because I don't know if the chili is spicy or not," Subai warned. He didn't want to see the fox-eared girl eating too many chili peppers and looking for water to drink. Yu Ying put the chili sauce and salt in the box and said with a smile, "Wu, you just don't worry." "Well, if you don't know how much to add, ask me," Subai said softly. "Yes." Yu Ying looked at the extra pillow on the dry straw and asked Wu, "What is that?" "This is what I use for sleeping, and you will have it too in the future," Subai explained. He was already thinking about making a 4-piece suit and a bed. But all of this will have to wait until the Yanlong tribe's ancestral land is retaken. If it is made now, it will not be easy to carry it back then. Yu Ying blinked her pink eyes and asked with a smile, "Wu, can I have another toffee?" "Of course you can, but you have to brush your teeth after eating," Subai warned. "Yes, I will prepare the charcoal ash now," Yu Ying responded immediately. Subai grabbed the fox-eared girl, handed over the toothbrush, and said, "No need for charcoal, use this later." Yu Ying took the toothbrush, fiddled with it and asked Wu, "What is this? Why are there so many strange things tonight?" "Well." Subai grinned, intending to ignore the following question, and explained, "This is called a toothbrush. It's better than using charcoal ash, and it can brush even cleaner." Toothbrush, it can be said that Yu Ying received a lot of new vocabulary tonight. "That's right, just squeeze a little toothpaste and you're good to go." Subai personally took the toothbrush and toothpaste and started to demonstrate. "Toothpaste? Is it something equivalent to charcoal ash?" Yu Ying was like a curious baby. Subai hesitated for a moment, nodded and said, "It can be said that you first take a sip of water, and then..." He taught the fox-eared girl a complete set of brushing methods, and finally ended the set of actions by rinsing her mouth. After Yu Ying carefully watched the whole set of actions, she asked weakly, "Wu, do you need to boil the water for brushing your teeth?" Subai thought about the water source in the primitive forest, nodded without thinking, "Boil it a little, or use filtered water. After all, most of the water in the forest contains parasites and some impurities in it." "I see," Yu Ying responded with a smile. "From now on, this blue toothbrush is mine, and this pink toothbrush is yours. You have to distinguish between them," Subai warned. "Yes, what about 3 more?" Yu Ying asked curiously. Give the red one to Ahua, and leave the other two first, Subai said lightly. I originally wanted to give it to Yanjiao and Kangxi, but given their personalities, they definitely don't want to brush their teeth. Rather than giving it to them to waste, it's better to leave it first. The toothbrush is a consumable item anyway. Second update, please support and customize. I was a village chief in a primitive society. Author, Big White Monster. Chapter 90. Chapter 90, Are you sick? 3 more, please customize. The sun rises higher and higher. Under the bright sunshine, the tents in the tribe seemed to be covered with a layer of glittering broken silver. Subai stretched his waist. Last night was the most comfortable night he slept since he came to this tribe. Wu, did you sleep well last night? Yu Ying's soft voice sounded. Slept very comfortably, Subai said with satisfaction. He turned his head and looked at the pillow, thinking that he had come at the right time. If it had been later, he might have suffered from spondylosis. Yu Ying held several skewers of dried meat in her hand and said, "Which, please brush your teeth first. I'll grill the meat right away, and we'll have something to eat soon." "Okay, did you get up early?" Subai asked curiously. "No, I just woke up for a while." Subai picked up the toothbrush and squeezed some toothpaste. "Woo, I've already brushed my teeth in advance," Yu Ying said with a smile. "Okay, I will brush my teeth morning and night from now on." Bai brushed his teeth and continued to warn, "Wait a minute and don't put too much salt and chili sauce." "Yes," Yu Ying smiled. "Wu, can I come in?" Yanhua's crisp voice sounded outside the tent. "Come in," Subai said lightly. Yanhua opened the tent curtain and said, refreshed, "Which, morning?" "Morning." Subai swallowed his saliva and spit it out. Yanhua blinked his red eyes and asked doubtfully, "What are you doing? Brush your teeth? Why is it white foam this time?" Niojiao Niang recalled brushing her teeth with charcoal ash before, but the water she spit out at that time was black. Subai raised his eyebrows slightly, handed over a toothbrush and toothpaste, and said, "This is toothpaste and toothbrush, use it. This is for brushing your teeth. I'll give you candy after brushing." "Sugar? What is this?" Yanhua said doubtfully. "This is a toothbrush." Yu Ying taught Niojiao Niang step by step and continued, "Be sure not to swallow it. Just spit it out in the end." Oh, okay." Yanhua nodded as if she understood, and then did as she was told. But she couldn't help but think in her heart, it's only been one night, and there is this strange thing. Witchcraft is really magical. A few minutes later, Niojiao Niang clumsily finished brushing her teeth. Almost couldn't help swallowing the toothpaste several times during the journey. Yanhua stuck out her tongue, frowned and said, What about this? Why does it feel a little weird?" "Ha ha ha, put your tongue back before you speak." Subai felt that Niojiao Niang's current appearance was very funny. Yu Ying couldn't help covering her mouth and laughed, and said, "Sister Ahua, you are just like me last night. You still laugh at me, look at your face." Yanhua also laughed. When the fox-eared lady just covered her mouth and laughed, the charcoal ash on her hand got on her face. She looked like a fox with a painted face. "Ah! What happened to my face?" Yu Ying stretched out her hand and touched her face. "Don't, well, now it's dirtier." Subai just wanted to stop the fox-eared lady from extending her hand. "You go wash your face first, and I'll help you dry the meat." Yanhua smiled and shook her head. Yu Ying pouted her little mouth and said to Lao Gao, "Sister Ahua, you know how to laugh at me. The way you looked just now was very funny." Subai really couldn't help this pair of good friends, so he handed Niojiao Niang a candy and said, "Try it." Yanhua took the white rabbit candy, looked at the strange words on it, and asked, "Which is this candy?" "Well, remove the packaging before eating." Subai thought it would be better to do it himself. He took back the toffee, unpacked it, and said, "Open your mouth." Yanhua was stunned for a moment, stretched out her hand to get the candy, and said, "Which, I can do it myself." "Aren't you barbecuing now? Your hands are so dirty, but this is what you put into your stomach." Subai avoided the horn lady's hand and continued, "Open your mouth." The horn girl's face turned red visibly. She hesitated for a moment and opened her mouth. Subai looked at Niojiao Niang's red face and couldn't help but feel that it was very cute, and said, "You'd better let Xiao Yu bake it, she is more skilled than you." Last night at dinner, he taught the fox-eared girl how to grill the meat so that the meat would not be burnt or blackened. Otherwise, every time it was time to eat, you would always end up with bitter, charred meat. It doesn't taste good. Good. Yanhua stood up with a red face. Yu Ying blinked her pink eyes with confusion on her face, feeling that she had missed something when she came back after washing her face. She squatted down and took the dried meat, and asked doubtfully, "Wu, what's wrong with Sister Ahua, are you sick? Why is your face so red? Remember to turn the dried meat, otherwise it will burn again." Subai changed the topic and said. "Ah. Almost burned again." Yu Ying quickly picked up the dried meat and moved away from the fire pit. Subai smiled and shook his head, and warned, "You can put a little chili sauce on it, and then continue to bake it, just stay away from the fire pit." "Yes." Yu Ying nodded, got up and ran to get last night's chili sauce. The fox-eared girl blinked her pink eyes and kept looking at the chili sauce. She didn't know how to start for a while. 1 second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds. After a minute, she turned her head and looked pitifully at the horned lady. Yanhua was still immersed in the sweetness of toffee, and after feeling the fox-eared lady's gaze, she asked, "What's wrong?" "Sister Ahua, do you know how to open this?" Yu Ying's soft voice sounded. Yanhua took the chili sauce, looked up and down, left and right, shook his head and said, "I don't know either." The fox-eared girl sighed, and looked at Subai with the horned girl at the same time, with a look of pity on her face. "Ha ha ha, I almost forgot. Give it to me and I will open it for you," Subai said with a hearty smile. The appearance of the two fox-eared ladies just now really made people want to pinch their faces. "Okay, remember not to do too much." Subai handed over the chili sauce. "Thank you." Wu Yu Ying smiled and nodded. Yanhua also squatted by the fire pit, curiously watching the fox-eared lady's operation, and asked, "What is this?" "Chili sauce can make the taste of dried meat different, this is what Wu said," Yu Ying said lightly. Yanhua nodded thoughtfully and said, "Since it was said by a witch, it should taste good." Third update, please support and customize.